If you're anything like us, you generally try to avoid third-party accessories when you're shopping at places like Amazon or Best Buy. While these are made by assorted companies with a focus on making cheap alternatives to pricier official products, many smaller groups and individuals with expertise in electrical engineering and circuit design who have grown up loving games themselves have come up with helpful products that are often much more rigorously designed than the knockoffs you see at Walmart. This time on Tips and Tweaks, we're taking a look at 2 options for reducing the number of AC adapters taking up space on your surge protector.
Ben Nahum makes a power adapter solution called the RetroDC, compatible with a large number of retro consoles. You know, the sorts with the little round plugs. You could simply use it with one console, or the included adapter allows it to power multiple consoles. However, it is strongly recommended that you do not turn on more than one system at a time, except for specific combinations, such as the Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and 32X. RetroDCPowered.com has a list of tested and approved combinations. Now, don't expect to actually hook up 3 or 4 consoles. More than 2 is frankly a stretch due to the splitter's length. RetroDC seems to be meant more for single consoles or stackable combinations. I've been using it with my Famicom and Famicom Disk System for the past several months, and it's been great. We have heard that poorly constructed third-party adapters, like many of the all-in-one sorts that you might see online or at your local retro store, can introduce noise to the video signal, particularly to RGB, but this hasn't been an issue at all with the RetroDC. Ben sent us the RetroDC last September when we were working on the Super Nintendo RGB episode. It is worth noting that the North American Super Nintendo is a big missing link in the RetroDC's list of supported consoles. It's not that it wouldn't work electrically, the plugs just don't fit. It does include an adapter for European Super Nintendos. But I actually didn't have a power adapter for the Super Famicom I was borrowing, and the RetroDC really got me out of a pinch in that case. In fact, the prospect of using it with Japanese consoles was a big part of why we decided to accept the review unit. We get a lot of questions about the safety of using Japanese consoles and power adapters in North America. The short answer to that question is it's fine, but it is true that Japanese adapters expect to receive a slightly lower voltage than what we have in North America, but most are equipped to deal with a small level of variation, which Japanese adapters will generally do just fine on the North American power grid. This slight variation on the input voltage translates to an almost unchanged voltage output to the console. In the case of the consoles that RetroDC supports, they're generally marked for something like 9 or 10 volts, but in truth, they all have regulators that accept anywhere from 7 to 25 volts, and reduce it to 5 volts, which the console actually uses. The RetroDC outputs a stable 9 volts. All of these factors make the RetroDC appropriate for pretty much any version of every older Nintendo, Sega, and PC Engine system from every region, as well as many clone consoles and other hardware. Fans of the Neo Geo and North American Turbo CD and Turbo Duo may need to look for another alternative. Like I said, it's usually fine to use an official Famicom adapter in North America, but if the extra bit of heat worries you, the RetroDC is a true universal adapter, easily accepting anywhere from 100 to 240 volts without any issue. That means you can use it with compatible systems from any region and use it in any region. It actually ships with a standard European AC cord, and an adapter for North American outlets. It's a very loose fit though, and actually stays in the socket when I try to pull it out. Ben even recommended to me that North American users replace the entire European cable with a common and inexpensive power cord, just like the one that comes with a PS3 Slim or a PS4. So a PlayStation cable has been happily powering my Famicom and Famicom Disk System for the past 4 months. Now, Ben did not exactly build this whole box himself. It's actually a standard product from a Chinese manufacturer already designed to take universal voltage and output 9 volts. But when properly designed, modern power adapters like these can actually be more efficient and waste less power compared to official adapters, which you may have noticed stay warm even when not in use. Ben modifies each unit by hand to suit the purposes of a retro console power adapter, and then personally tests each one. It costs $45 including free air shipping from Israel to almost anywhere in the world. Now, Coury bought another type of custom power adapter some time ago, and it's designed for a much more specific purpose.
The Sega CD, the Genesis, the 32X, the Tower of Power. If you have this beast in your setup, then you're probably familiar with the baggage that comes along with it, in the form of 3, count 'em, 3 giant power bricks. If you're trying to hook up all of your systems at once, these suckers can quickly make you start to reconsider your plans. Luckily, it doesn't have to be that way. A while back, I came across a nice alternative in the form of the Sega Trio from Retro Game Cave. This single AC adapter powers the Genesis and its 2 add-ons cleanly and efficiently, which was exactly what I needed for my setup. So I went ahead and bought one. The Trio is perfectly optimized for the sole purpose of powering these 3 pieces of hardware. And you know, it's pretty great. It has a 5-foot cable and the outputs are placed exactly where they need to be in the chain. The Sega CD comes first, then the Genesis in the middle, with the 32X output at the very end. Not only are you saving space not having the other 2 power bricks, the Trio itself is even smaller than one of Sega's adapters. But wait a second, what if you don't have the exact same system combination as I do? The Genesis Model 2 does have a different AC input plug after all. Well, Retro Game Cave offers several different variations that accommodate all the different combinations of hardware that you might run into. For instance, in my setup, I'm using the Trio M1 CD1. For those of you that have no desire to ever dabble in the 32X library, Retro Game Cave offers an alternative in the form of the Sega Duo, which has no third output. However, if you think you might want to get a 32X in the future, I recommend just getting a Trio and leaving the third output dangling. You can even buy one of these little insulating plug covers for a couple of bucks so you don't have to worry about stuff getting inside. The Trio is equipped to work worldwide. Just like the RetroDC, the Trio is designed to accept anywhere from 100 to 240 volts of power, so no step down or step up converter is needed. Of course, you're going to need a plug adapter to fit into your style of outlet, but other than that, you're good to go. I've been using my Trio since 2014, and I've been super happy with it. Retro Game Cave touts clean power, free of any potential video noise or audio hum. Since one of my Sega power bricks started making an annoying electrical hum all the time, I actually feel like this adapter is safer to use than the original setup. The Trio was designed as the ultimate solution for this ridiculousness. It runs about $38 these days, but I paid a little less when I bought mine in 2014. It's totally taken away the hassle of having a good old Tower of Power in my setup.
With either of these power solutions, you've got assurance that the adapters themselves are designed to handle voltage from anywhere in the world, providing supported consoles with the correct amount of power, without introducing any interference to the audio or video signals. So while we're normally very suspicious of third-party adapters, these have not only earned our trust, but can actually make your setup way simpler and run less hot.